It's been a while. Last time it was Carl and I, and we were talking about a lot of things, and a lot of things have transpired. Obviously, the Luka trade, teams like the Pistons being relevant again as well too. Wemby went out with a blood clot.
Yep.
The Clippers are looking okay. I had to put the Clippers in there as well.
God.
Too. Boston being Boston, so a lot of this kind of transpired, man. If I had to ask you guys, what are your impressions of the season as we were winding down to the final games, man?
Mm-hmm. I mean, for me, it would definitely be some pleasant surprises. So Detroit is in there. I feel like, I guess Denver's regression has been a lot more, I guess, abrupt than I thought it would be. I feel like, and then I would also say, I'm trying to think of what's happening out east right now. That shocked me as well. But it's not coming to my head right now. But really, mostly Detroit. I feel like, because outside of y'all's latest draft pick, your latest like first round draft pick, like the squad's pretty much the same other than the coaching change, right?
No.
Or it's pretty much it's scrapped.
It's not. We added a bunch of actual NBA caliber players.
Okay, like so Tobias Harris, and then
Tobias Harris,
Hardaway
Malik
Jr.
Beasley, Tim Hardaway,
and that was the pleasant surprise for me, bro. Like seeing Malik Beasley like step into this NBA vet type role with the younger ones, and then and just play well, because obviously like he was a cone on defense when he was with the Lakers. And then he went to Milwaukee and was kind of the same. Is he kind of still the same?
He's not a great defender, but he's making like 4 threes a game at like 40-something%. So
making
the
a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, Detroit definitely, I would say, is my pleasant surprise about the season so far. What about you though?
I mean, shit, yeah, I'm from Detroit, so that's 100% my pleasant surprise. I mean, because I think it really gets understated, and I will say what I do love is a lot of the times I've been seeing recently people calling out the national media for not talking about this as much, but we literally tied the record for most consecutive losses in a single NBA season last year. Not 2 years ago, last season. And to go from that to adding we added some new players, but they're all role players. They're all guys that are making $10 million or under or something like that. Other than Tobias Harris, but he's always overpaid. But for the most part, we only added role players. So to go from that to now being the 5th seed right now as we speak, I'm pretty sure in the East is insane. Like it's really, really insane turnaround. So yeah, my hope this year was for us to make it into the play-in, and that was probably as like a 10th or 9th seed. I didn't even think this was possible.
Yeah.
I think the biggest surprise is how bad the Philadelphia 76ers are. Going into the season, you and I talked about this. I thought they were going to be like a top 4 or top 5 seed in the Eastern Conference, just by the emergence of Maxey, having Joel Embiid, be an MVP caliber player, and then playoff P come over there as well too. But it's just bad luck.
What did you say, playoff P?
Yeah,
way off P.
Way off P. It's just very unfortunate because preseason he looked pretty good, and then he had the knee sprain, and he had another knee sprain, and then he had to get some cortisone shots in his knees. Tyrese Maxey sprained his ankle to start the season, and then I thought Joel Embiid was gonna play well because he played in the Olympics. Obviously, he was a little hampered, but I was like, all right, you got a couple months off. You're going to be fine. And he ain't played, till 2.5 months into the season? And now he's shut down.
Yeah.
And it's just like, wow, this is terrible. So now it makes me evaluate Joel Embiid. Is he ever going to be somewhat of what he is? And then also, is Paul George...
cooked.
Is he cooked now?
He's cooked.
Is he cooked?
He's cooked.
Bro,
that's what I want.
He's about to be 35, isn't he?
Yeah, he's cooked.
Probably 35 and making
cooked.
$50+ million a year.
Cooked.
They're
cooked.
The podcast career is gonna be up though. I feel
it's crazy because he took a break from that joint.
Yeah,
talking about to focus on the championship run. Like my dog,
it was so crazy.
Y'all was already they was
that
at
shit
least
was
10
so
games under 500 when he
crazy.
said that shit.
That shit was so crazy.
Nah, it was nasty work. It was definitely some nasty work for sure.
Man.
Oh damn. Yeah, I was probably most shocked by that, and then like I said, I'm very proud of what the Detroit Pistons have been doing, and obviously the Luka trade was wild.
Bro, I was right in there. I was
Please.
right in there in my bed. Literally, me and Siobhan, like, we was get ready for bed. I literally turned over to like cut the lamp off to just fucking go to sleep and shit. I turned back over my phone right here, and sometimes I just like open Bleacher Report just to like just to fuck around if I don't have shit else to do. And I opened up Bleacher Report, and literally they put the little 2 alarms when the shit's popping off, and I saw Luka on the headline traded to the Lakers, and I'm like, this is cap. Somebody got into y'all fucking servers and like hacking the shit. But nah, man, went straight to Shims and went straight to my group chat, put that shit in there. The rest is history.
Yeah, it's what is it called? Like, what's the saying? Like, you remember the time and place exactly where you exactly where you were when an event happened.
Yeah, are you talking about like the term that's called?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I can't think of it, but like I'm always going to remember that joint.
Yeah,
dog.
man.
Like you said, I thought it was fake, but wow, it just makes me think. Like Carl was talking before we started recording. Like I feel like that higher power within the NBA, they gave the Spurs the #1 pick to get Wemby. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, with the ratings being down, them bashing the product and whatnot, do you think behind closed door they're like, hey yo, like we need Luka, like you're the fall guy?
That's one theory, and then I heard another one where they were talking about the new owner of the Dallas Mavericks after Cuban sold the team. He wanted to build a casino add-on to the arena, but I guess the city of Dallas or like the state of Texas denied the bill that needed to be passed in order for them to build the casino. So they're saying that he's trying to tank the team by sending Luka away so that he can move the team to Las Vegas.
To Las Vegas, damn! Because I thought the extra expansion would be in Vegas and
exactly.
maybe another team in Seattle.
Exactly.
But I don't. I mean, and at the end they were never gonna know unless someone blows a whistle years from now. But
yeah,
I feel like it was some BS. Like you don't just trade a franchise player like that
out of nowhere,
for,
bro.
I mean, for Anthony Davis,
and then to say, and again, because I don't want to shortchange, bro. Anthony Davis was playing great when he was playing this year, but to trade Luka for a player like Anthony Davis, and then for you to say somehow it has anything to do with availability is fucking excuse my language, is insane. Like insane, bro. And just to show you it's insane, Anthony Davis played about 15 minutes with the Mavericks so far since they traded for him 2 months ago.
Shit crazy,
and then
man.
Kyrie goes down with the ACL injury.
They couldn't have had worse luck, bro.
I feel bad. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't feel bad for no rich nigga, but obviously it's a human aspect. But Clay's just like, damn, I came to play with Luka to get easy shots, to play a couple more years, and now I got to play with these 2 dudes. Like,
I'm gonna mention them later in my tiers, but yeah, this is more than bad luck that they're experiencing right now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Anything else you're surprised about? I guess for Spurs fans, getting De'Aaron Fox as well too.
Yeah, that was cool. Definitely
I remember I was accelerating Trae Young. Remember?
Yeah.
No, this is way better than Trae Young.
Definitely accelerating the timeline some. And now I'm just wondering what they're gonna do, because I think they still have either 2 or 3 draft picks in this first round for this draft. So just looking to see like what comes of this draft here. I like, and we'll talk about this a little bit with the college aspect in March Madness too. But there's a guy that plays for UConn. His name's Liam McNeely. He's like a really good like stretch 4. I think that would be cool to put next to Victor in spots too. But yeah, I think the Spurs, front office has always been healthy, and now I just feel like getting that blood clot situation with Vic is obviously #1 priority, but. Having De'Aaron there is great. You got a 30-point, 25 to 30 point, per game you can get out of him too. So it's cool.
Stephon Castle's looking really well. This is a blessing in disguise for him as well too, to basically get the most shots up outside of Vassell. Yeah, CP there molding him too. So I like that.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you, but you kind of covered it. So you would draft the stretch 4? Because I don't want him to want me to always play the 5. Because another thing we suffer at is rebounding.
Right.
So it'd be nice to get like a traditional big. Since he can't stretch the floor, I don't mind having like a Clint Capella type of big as opposed to like a stretch five. But I'm cool with that name if we just sign like a big like Vucevic or something like that.
Yeah, I was gonna say like I'd rather go like and do it through free agency.
Yeah.
Like you get somebody who's kind of already an established vet to put next to him,
Like that.
and then you get a younger through the draft and get like the best shooter in the draft too. Honestly, in Liam McNeely. So yeah, that's what I would go for. But there's a few options. I think we'll obviously see what happens after the lottery. But if they're in like the 8 to 13 range, that's still going to be good enough to get you a solid prospect.